The Linux operating system has many unique and powerful features. Like other operating systems, it's a control program for computers. But like Unix, it's also a well thought out family of utility programs. And to really understand all of the numerous utilities in terms of commands and other things that we can do with Linux, let's spend some time to look at a quick overview of how the Linux operating system works. So firstly, Linux has a kernel programming interface. The Linux kernel is the heart of the Linux operating system, and it's responsible for allocating the resources and scheduling user jobs so each one gets its fair share of resources, including access to, for example, the CPU, peripheral devices, memory, and so on and so forth. Now, the programs interact with the kernel through system calls, special functions with well-known names. A programmer, for example, can use a single system call to interact with many kinds of devices. And so the Linux kernel is itself the heart of the operating system. So depending on the hardware and the types of tasks the computer performs, a Linux system can support 1 to more than 1,000 users, each concurrently. So Linux can support many users. The per user cost of a computer that can be used by many people at the same time is less than that of a computer that can be used by only a single person at a time. It is less because one person cannot generally take advantage of all the resources a computer has to offer. That is, no one can keep all the printers going constantly, keep all the system memory in use, keep all the disk busy reading and writing, keep the internet connection in use, and keep all the terminals busy at the same time. Now, by contrast, a multi-user operating system allows many people to use all of the system resources almost simultaneously. And so this is one of the key components of Linux. That is, the use of costly resources can be maximized and the cost per user can be minimized, which is the primary objective of a multi-user operating system such as Linux. Next, Linux can run many tasks. So Linux is a fully protected multitasking operating system, allowing each user to run more than one job at a time. Processes can communicate with one another but remain fully protected from one another, just as the kernel remains protected from all processes. You can run several jobs in the background while giving all your attention to the job being displayed on the screen. And you can switch back and forth between jobs. If you're running the X Windows system, you can run different programs in different windows on the same screen and watch all of them. So this capability helps users be more productive. So keep this in mind as we begin this new series on Linux commands. Finally, Linux provides a secure hierarchical file system. Now, a file is a collection of information such as text for a memo or a report, accumulation of sales, an image, a song, it could be anything. Each file is stored under a unique identifier on a storage device such as a hard disk. The Linux file system provides a structure whereby files are arranged under directories, which are like folders or boxes. Each directory has a name and can hold other files and directories. Directories in turn are arranged under other directories and so forth, like a tree organization as you can see here. So this structure helps keep track of large number of files by grouping related files in directory. Each user has one primary directory and as many subdirectories as required. All right, so these four main components or features of Linux are what drives the commands. So the fact that it has a kernel programming interface which allows the core operating system to be able to talk to different components such as the memory, CPU, devices, Secondly, it has, support for many users. It can run many tasks, and one of the key features, of course, is the secure hierarchical file system. So keep these in mind as we go through the next section, looking at different commands. All of these 4 key components play together to make Linux such a powerful operating system.